I've learned this over time, but one thing that helps me is that I will always start by assuming positive intent from the other person.
Nice.
I'm very mindful of the fact that I want to be the same person at home and at work. One thing is for sure is that I allow myself to feel all of the emotions fully instead of bottling them up like I would probably do 10 years ago and
Mm,
try to show a brave face that, oh, this doesn't affect me. And, I'm above all of this and
mm.
this was nothing. But internally, you're hurting.
We often think of growth in giant leaps, career change, a new city, new big resolution in the start of the year. But what about the tiny shifts that happen every day? The habits that you're slowly unlearning, the song that suddenly means something new to you. Sometimes it's the quiet acceptance of being imperfect. I'm so happy to share this space with you today, Tanya. Welcome to the show. For anybody who doesn't know Tanya, she's a phenomenal human being, and more than anything, she's a amazing storyteller. She has a way of putting her words in a humorous way, just mixed with her personal experiences, and that always has been something that I like really enjoy. So, hey, Tanya, welcome to Still Becoming. Very happy to have you.
Thank you so much and congratulations on your podcast. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. This has been brewing for some time. I always wanted a way to express myself. I've done blogs. I've always had conversations with people. I know that's something that helps me more than me trying to help others. It helps me document some of the things that are happening with me and take people's experiences and things like that. So this has been a very rewarding story, but it's just a start. Let's get down to the questions. Like, okay, so I've known you for more than 12 years. We met in 2013, part of my work.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I really admire about you is your authentic side, right? Like you are somebody who's genuinely authentic, unfiltered in the way you come across to people. You do not worry about how people generally think about what you're saying. And it feels very aligned to the spirit of the podcast and the spirit of the show. This whole podcast is about me talking about some of these things. Before we dive into what we are going to discuss today, I just wanted to kind of do like a icebreaker on what is one of the small thing that has brought you a bit of joy or surprise this week. Anything that you are currently involved in.
Oh, I think it was yesterday. And I met up with a few friends who were from Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
And we just shared so many stories about how there was these colloquial things that we would say, or the places that we used to go at 2 a.m., or how the commute was for 5 kilometers. And I think it was such an enriching 3-hour conversation. We were mostly complaining, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It brought me really a lot of joy. I came back home so happy and smiling ear to ear because I've not had such a nice, thrilling conversation in a very long time. So that was good.
Nice, nice. This is an interesting one, and this is something that we don't give ourselves enough credit for. You were brought up in a different city.
Mm.
For work, you moved to another city, and work
Yeah.
has taken you to multiple cities within India.
Yeah.
When I look back now, I am thinking, how did I manage to do all of that? Like, because I've had like a similar kind of a journey. But do you give yourself credit for that? Is that something that, or do you think that that's just matter of fact?
Oh, no, I give myself a lot of credit. I take all the chances to give myself credit for things that I've done. I moved out of my parents' house in 2004. So it's been about, what, 20,
21
21
years.
years since
Mhm.
I left home. And in fact, recently, I think a year ago, another friend and I, we were kind of matching notes on similar cities that we have both lived in. And
Mm.
we started counting the times that we have moved and
Mhm.
to see who beat whom in
Mm.
terms of the number of movements they have made. And in 21 years, I have moved 19 times. Uh,
Wow.
19 houses, basically, 19 different places, 3 different cities. It's been great. And it's always hard to start things afresh. Also exciting,
Mm.
but also hard. But yeah, I give myself a lot of credit for being able to pick up and do all of these things because I left home at 19 and it was really hard to go from like a tier 4 city to a tier 1 city
Mm.
where I would say I couldn't even the language was different.
Yeah.
The colloquialism was different. And it was tough to get through to people because they would think I'm from some backward city who doesn't know how to speak properly to having to change how I speak to show
Mm.
up. But later it started getting better. I think the
Yeah.
first 2 times were a little tough and then it got better.
So I'm interested in the process. So you go from a space of like absolute comfort. When you go to a new place, what's the good mental model to have in terms of dealing with the uncomfortability of it? That's one part of it. You being vulnerable in a new space where you don't know people, you don't know, and in India, most of the times you don't know the language as well. The other thing is you have to have a completely different personality at work because you're probably starting a new job. So you have to
Mm.
exude confidence at work. You should come across as somebody who is in control of things versus what's happening around you, which is that, hey, I actually am not in control of things because I've moved to a new city or to a new town. What's a good way that you have navigated through these challenges?
That's a very deep question. Okay, let me try. See, when you're really young and you're moving out, uh, a lot of your elders, people who come with a lot of experience, they will start giving you a lot of knowledge and a lot of advice about what you should do, what you should not do, what you should be careful about. Be careful of this, be careful of that, stay away from this, stay away from that, which is great. The intent is great, right? They are
Mm.
not coming from the point of view that, oh my God, let her not achieve, but from
Mm.
the point of view, or I just want her to be safe. But as someone who's young, you're looking at it as, oh, so you want to even remotely put restrictions on me. But as as you grow older, as I grew older, as I started moving to different spaces, so even moving from one locality to the other
Mm.
changes your entire ecosystem. Your neighbors change, your health changes, your grocery person will change. Like, there is a lot of change. And of course, I've learned this over time. But one thing that helps me is that I will always start by assuming positive intent from the other person.
Nice. Well, that
But
is
when
good.
I say that, I don't mean like be stupid about it.
Yeah. You don't
Like
mean
if you're,
blind
if
trust.
you're, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't mean blind trust, but I would assume positive intent. So if there is, like even rickshaw drivers, cab drivers, grocery people, delivery folk, or your help, or anyone who is even coming home,
Mm.
I will assume positive intent unless proven otherwise.
Got it.
And that has helped me overall build better connections, have a more, trusted conversation instead of starting a conversation with somebody with suspicion.
Mm.
And statistically, in my life, I have seen that actually out of the 10 people that you trust,
Mm.
there's probably one person who will turn out like the bad apple.
Mm.
And you see the signs and you try to cut off wherever possible. But this is obviously a learned skill, I would say. I would call
Yeah.
it a skill because it is a skill
Yeah.
over time. As in my early 20s, I would have not answered the question the same way at all,
Yeah.
for sure.
Got it. So if I'm understanding the framework is okay, start with a positive intent. Assume positive intent until proven otherwise. That's one. Second
Yeah.
is that you should have a framework of eliminating people who are breaking your trust
Mhm.
in some shape or form. You have to be very clear that okay, that's a deal breaker for me. Let's move
Yeah,
away from that
absolutely.
and things like that. And the third thing is that you are open to new experiences. You will not go by what people are saying. I, I don't know. Has that changed? Like the advice that was coming to you when you were like a 19, 20-year old,
Mm.
and how you deal with it versus the advice that comes to you now at this stage of your life. I mean, do you deal with it differently or is it the same?
Yeah, because now I have experiences to logically explain otherwise.
Got
Before I didn't. And hence I had to take everything at face value.
got it.
But now I will say that, like, I have done this, I have been here, I have experienced this. Actually, this is how it works.
Mm,
Now, whether the other person wants to accept it or not, that is totally up to them. Like now the ball is in their court. It's their decision whether they want to take that, they don't want to take that. That's up to them.
got it.
And I will let it be heard.
Okay, makes sense. So that's the other thing around this. Okay, so that's how you're dealing with everything outside work. At work now, assuming
Mhm.
you're moving for work, right? Most of the times, which is what the case is, you are in a new space where you are trying to build your credibility. So you have to come across as somebody who's extremely confident, knows your stuff, and it has started delivering right from day one. But you can see the contrast right now, right? Like, so what changes for you when you are at work in this kind of a situation?
Actually, I would like to debunk that a little bit.
Okay.
That was the case probably even till 5 years ago.
Hmm.
And I think 5 years ago is when I started doing a lot of self work in terms of just reviewing my day, reviewing my interactions, seeing what's working for me, what's not working for me, which I would never do before. It was more like very go with the flow kind of environment. But the hardest realization was, and I realized this while answering that question in an interview,
Oh, okay.
was that I show up the way I am,
Hmm.
right? And I get two reactions to it.
Hmm.
Either people love me or they can't stand the sight of me because of how outspoken I am about certain things.
Hmm.
But the ratio to that, again, comes down to 80-20. Eight people will love me, two people will hate me. I'm okay with the two people hating me. This is something I try doing very, how do I say it? Very mindfully. I'm very mindful of the fact that I want to be the same person at home and at work.
Got it.
So my friends at work, if they see me outside of work, they won't see another version of me. They will see the same version of me. The only thing that will be filtered here is that maybe my words will change. My choice of
Mm,
words will change in terms of, obviously I won't use any slang at all.
mm.
But if my friends are outside, I would probably divulge in a little bit of French. Um, this,
Yeah.
so that happens. But otherwise, I really enjoy being myself now. It's something I have worked very hard on to accept that, okay, this is who I am. Take it or leave it.
Mm.
It's okay. I don't care so much anymore. And maybe it's my age speaking. I don't know. I think it is my age speaking. It has to be
Mm,
that. Well, because the whole cycle of validation that, oh, I need to walk into this room and I need to give this
mm,
presentation or I need to have this conversation and I need every single one of them to really like what I said and think that, oh my God, Tanya is so good and etc. I don't come with that mindset anymore. I'm like, I'm going to walk into my room.
Wow.
I'm going to be who I am, and we'll see.
That is so beautifully put. And I didn't mean to, like I said, at the start of this interview, I didn't mean to go deep on this one, but you are saying so many things that I am currently struggling with. So this validation piece is something that I was thinking about the other day, is that why do we need so much of external validation? And I was trying to do that for myself because I'm not like you. I am always like, okay, who is thinking what about me? And only very few people know the genuine me, right? And I, to everybody who is around me, they see a side of, and that
Hmm.
is probably not the holistic view of what I am or who I am and things like that. So this is something that I am struggling with. So if you can, in a very short way, what's the process? You said that you've been working on this for the last 5 years. So what's the good framework to think about this? What helped you in making that change?
So, of course, there's a lot of self reflection that came into the picture initially. Um, a lot of heartbreak in terms of not making things work with certain friends
Hmm.
or with certain people, and really beating yourself up about, oh, did I do something wrong? Was it me?
Hmm.
Two things here. So, one, I try to not make it about myself. I started thinking about, okay, you are you, and how someone experiences you is up to them. So that was one shift. But one of the key things that I talk to a lot of people in my friend circle also, I've had these conversations like a couple of times with folks, right? And so I'm a person who has hated math. Okay.
Okay. Who loves
Hated, hated.
who loves maths?
There are people who love math.
Okay.
Actually,
I
but
know.
there is this one thing
Uh-huh.
in maths that I feel can become it's a game changer if you can apply it in so many different aspects of your life,
Hmm.
which is the law of probability.
Okay. Okay. Can you like
Yeah, yeah.
explain that a little more?
So coming back to like starting with positive intent, right? I assume positive intent, and like
Mm.
out of the multiple people that I will speak to, there will be this one bad apple.
Mm.
Similarly, I will show up as myself at work, at home, with my friends on Instagram
Mhm. Mhm.
in a public forum.
Yeah.
And in my head, I will think it's the law of probabilities. So there will be an 80% of people who will
Mhm.
like what I say, and there will be 20% people who will not like what I say. And I have made peace with it. I'm okay with it.
Mm.
Before, I was not okay with that.
Right. Why
Before,
is
I would strive so hard that why don't they like
like
me?
me? Yeah.
Why?
Mm.
What have I done? Should I show up like this? Should I do that? Should I talk to them in this way? Should I bring them lunch? It'll be like as stupid as that. Me. But that this mindset shift, I don't know when it changed. I don't think it happened overnight, but over a period of time. But once it changed, it frees you, it liberates you to another level
Mm.
altogether. In the sense that my validation is now only meant for 80% of them. It is not meant for 100%.
Got it.
So
So you
whoever is not
mm.
with you or not on board with you, oh, you're 20%. So
Got it.
I don't
So
care.
yeah. So you doing that mental math saying that, okay, so you're not saying that you're not looking for validation, but
Right.
as long as it meets like the 80-20%, you are like, okay, this I think I'm doing fine, or what
Yeah.
how I'm coming across is fine, because people who really would value me for what I am, they are still okay with the way I am. Okay, okay, that makes sense.
Just a point to that it's still I still wouldn't call it validation per se, because see, when you are meeting people, you still need them to be on board with you.
Hmm.
Let's not say like you, but be
Yeah.
on board with you.
Yeah.
That's why you're even speaking to them in the first place. Or you're doing a presentation, or you're trying to, like, I'm in the learning and development space. So I need to be able to speak to multiple people about multiple things and trainings, etc., workshops. I need to be able to get through to them.
Got it.
But I am okay to not get through to 100% of them, which I was trying to do before.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that is helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. Another piece that I usually talk about a lot is how do you deal with failures, right? And I don't mean it in the sense that it has to have a great redemption arc and I failed and now it's become a success. But the process of going through a failure, how do you identify a failure for yourself? And then how do you manage yourself through that disappointment?
Yeah, it's still hard, but at least now I know what I'm doing about it. So one thing is for sure is that I allow myself to feel all of the emotions fully instead of bottling them up like I would probably do 10 years ago, and
Mm,
try to show a brave face that, oh, this doesn't affect me. And, I'm above all of this and
mm,
this was nothing. But internally, you're hurting.
okay. So do
I
you,
let myself
so
hurt
yeah, so is this
for,
process on your own or like do you speak to people like close friends and family, or is what's that process of let the hurt continue?
so it's very scenario dependent, obviously. But I do like to talk about it
Okay.
for sure, because a lot of times by speaking about it, I get such good perspective
Hmm.
from my friends or my family. That's really helpful. Also, this is a part of me trying to be as authentic as I can be. So before, like, for example, my sister is younger to me,
Mm-hmm.
and, you're taught that you're the elder sibling and you have to be the role model. And
You're right.
so you can't
They
touch that.
have to look up
Not
to
that,
you always.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, but my relationship with my sister got so much stronger when I just started opening up to her about how I'm feeling about something, what I'm going through.
Hmm.
And turns out she is 10x more woke than any other person in the world.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And like, she has great insights. And the fact that she can look at something with an unbiased way that, just because you're my sister, you have done right, she'll call me out on, I feel you could have done this differently.
Mm,
I have, I think, 5 friends in
mm,
total
mhm.
today who I can completely open up to, and I can just give them a call and say that, you know what, and I can cry, I can crib, I can vent, go through all of those emotions. Um, and one of the things that I received from them, which I love, which is why I cherish those friendships so much, is sometimes they know that they just have to lend me a listening ear and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
Um,
Um, I spoke about this in one of my previous podcasts, which is like, okay, who's your 3 a.m. friend? So,
yeah,
in short, you have like 5 3 a.m. friends who can call at any time and they would listen to you without judgment, unbiased, and
yeah,
they'll be honest and brutal with their responses. Well, if you ask for a response, like if you okay, what do you think about this?
correct.
They will be brutal, unfiltered. Okay, like I know we are talking about failures, but are you a 3 a.m. friend for them as well?
It's vice versa.
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely like equal parts of I will show up as
Mm,
your friend for whatever you need. Sometimes, especially in scenarios where with my friends, they have experienced heartbreak
mm,
and, they're saying mean things about the other person or anything of that sort. I know that what they need in that moment is for me to be on board and probably 2x all of the mean things that they are saying, and I will give it to
absolutely.
them because I
Mm,
know it's just temporary.
yeah.
And that's okay.
Mm,
They
okay.
know that they don't need to give me advice unless I ask me for it.
Mm, hmm hmm Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking through the journey of being in a failure or experiencing failure. You said that you vocalize your emotions around it. Have people who you speak to just try and understand what exactly is happening. What do you do next? Like, do you try and do like a root cause? Okay, why did this fail, or why did I fail? Is that a good process, by the way? But and do you do it?
I don't do a root cause. No. I I go back to my favorite math theory,
Okay, 80-20.
80/20 law of probabilities. So
Yeah.
if I can do, obviously I am human. I cannot do everything right. Of course, I will also make mistakes.
Hmm.
I am allowed to make mistakes. I will do 10 things right. I will do 4 things wrong. It's it's possible.
Hmm.
Um, I won't beat myself up about it or try to do a root cause to say that, okay, next time this happens,
Hmm.
this is what I'll
Hmm.
do. I would probably do that in a work scenario
Okay.
because that's where it's more relevant. Because, so like you have stakeholders, something goes
Hmm.
wrong, you still have to manage that stakeholder, you still have to do it the right, do things the right way, etc., etc. So, in that sense, making amends, etc., it makes sense. But in my personal life, I don't feel the need to overthink it so much that it starts affecting me even more
Hmm.
emotionally because the failure already will have certain effect.
Right.
The more I overthink it, the more into that it'll be a vicious cycle. I'll just not be able to get out of it.
Hmm.
And it's really silly, but it's something so profound. I don't think people even know that who made the movie, what they have done for people. But if you've seen Three Idiots
Yeah.
and the All Is Well,
Hmm.
is actually something that works. It is strange, but it works. Like just saying that, okay, this happened for a reason and we need to move past it.
Hmm.
And telling yourself that, but
All is well.
also feeling everything fully that, okay, I am feeling shitty about this or I'm feeling sad about it. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I think I'm becoming wise. Anish.
I I would I would tag you as a not becoming wise, but you were always wise. I think you probably are attributing that to yourself a lot more now, but I think you are always wise. So interesting that
Thank you.
you bring out all is well. It's an affirmation, like it's just a reaffirmation, right? Everything's fine, all is well. Yeah. So you've gone through the process of failure, but you are saying that you don't do root cause to an extent where you, like you said, failure itself has an effect on you, and then maybe it doesn't help you when you are doing deep dive on that or a root cause on that.
Yeah.
Do you attribute failures to something? Like, for example, like where I was going with the root causes of like 4 or 5 failures that I have had in my life, do you say that, okay, this is because of me or because of something that I said and I need to change, or this is because of somebody else or an external circumstance, or the environment was that where it didn't allow us to succeed and things like that? So that attribution, is that something that you do, or is that not something that you've thought of?
No, it happens and it happens in moments when I'm actually not thinking about the failure, I have moved on and then I will have an epiphany about it for some reason.
Oh,
It when
okay.
suddenly there's a bulb that goes off
Okay.
and you are like, oh, that's what happened. And then if I can do some damage control, I'll go ahead and do it. If I have to apologize, I'll go and apologize.
Mm,
Even if I have to like really call it out that, you know what, I think this was completely my bad.
mm-hmm.
I will go ahead and do it. But one thing I'm not able to do is while going through the failure, the emotional turmoil that I am in, it completely blocks me from thinking logically. All logic leaves me. So to get back that logical reasoning, which is
Uh-huh.
why I need to talk to people, I need to
Mm,
vocalize what I'm going through, feel everything fully, because I know that once I have done all of that, my logical brain will come back to me and say, okay, fine, now you're okay to be around. And then when if I run the scenario past my head or if I'm doing something else, in fact, there'll be this bulb moment.
mm,
And I apologize. I don't have any I don't feel bad apologizing. I would apologize to a child or to a 90-year-old, anyone. I would apologize to a rickshaw driver.
yeah.
I don't feel it is demeaning at all.
Mm,
If I made a mistake, I will apologize.
okay. Interesting. Also very powerful to do that. But I like the fact that you brought about the epiphany, that a light bulb moment happens much later or at a completely
Mhm.
different time, and then you are able to bring it back to the failure itself. Okay. Great. This is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Like I said, this flows into everything that my podcast or what I was intending to do with the podcast. It's talking about the experiences and the messy human things that happen, and try and see how different people cope with it and how different frameworks work for them. The last bit is, this is where I want your humor side. Okay, you've been brought up in a different culture. Then
Yeah.
you came to a different city in a different part of the country in India, which had a completely different culture. And you are in a third city right now, again with a different culture. What are some of these quirky things that you grew up with or which you were taught, which is like either completely two things, like either they are still so strong and so valid that they still help you, or they are like, okay, what were we doing, what was I doing, why did I learn that, or what were people trying to do when they were teaching me these things?
No, I don't take it so seriously. But there are two things that even with all of the work travel that I used to do, different cities that I have moved to, different environments that I have been in, I have boiled it down to two things
Mm,
that really drives acceptance
okay.
when you're in a new environment.
Mm.
One is language. Second is food.
Oh, okay. You saying that you will try to go deeper on both, right? Like if you are in a new space.
Yeah, I will show genuine interest in the
Huh.
language. I will
Mm-hmm.
show respect for their food, no matter which environment I'm in. And that has helped me build connection so fast that
Mm.
it's not even funny. Even like the first line I learn, no matter which place I go to, if they have a local language, I will learn how to say that I'm sorry, I don't speak the language in their
Okay.
language.
Nice. Okay.
And the reaction I get for that is so heartwarming that,
Mm.
oh my God, you tried at least.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You tried to give it a shot. Like when I tell you, this is a funny story. I went on a holiday to Turkey
Mm-hmm.
and for 1 month I learned Turkish on Duolingo.
Right.
Anish, the amount of discount I have been able to get just because of the fact. that I was trying to speak the language. The people were so warm about it, so
Mm,
happy that, oh, you're a tourist, but you're trying to be like one of us, or you're trying to be in our environment, appreciating the food, respecting the food. I mean, these two things are just, they're gold. They're
mm,
absolute gold. Um, and it's not I can't say it's a proven method. It's just my method.
right.
Right or wrong in these things. Different people have different ways. Sports is such a good way to get through to people. Um, like I know that if there are two people in two different countries who are following the same sports club, they are suddenly long lost friends.
Yeah.
There's literally no doubt about it. But what, apart from sport, then what else? If not sport, then what else can help you to get through? Well,
Mm,
Um, language and food is just such common. It, it's too common
mm.
for everybody.
But there is another like nuance to this, right? So you and I think we spoke about this at some point of time. We grew up in a society which had
Mhm.
colonies. Remember
Yeah.
colonies? Although all of us came from like everybody who stays in like these kind of setups would come from different backgrounds, they would always get together and have something common to talk about. And then that's the common like the downtown like kind of
The
place
community
where
space.
the community spaces, right? Now we
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
have those community spaces.
Yeah.
Like everybody is very nuclear and like, okay, I'm thinking about my there is no community spaces, right? There is
No.
no space where you can be you can have like a common interest or you have to go seek for it. Like we go pay for it now, something that
Yeah.
was available free for us, right? When we were growing up. Uh,
It's true.
it I think it changed the way I interact with people. Like and I see that that's missing right now when with these the kids who now grew up in like single family homes and very nuclear families. Like, what do you think about that? Like, did that influence you in the way you interact with people and how you deal with people?
I don't know. Maybe. It's very scenario dependent. I love community spaces.
Mm.
I'm part of so many, I have paid to be a part of many communities because I really think
Yeah.
those community spaces, because there's so much common ground that you can get, so many
Mm.
ideas, or just randomly, people to talk to. Um, but I don't know if this generation will ever be able to experience what we experienced in terms of these kind of community spaces, which were not virtual WhatsApp group
Yeah.
ish
Ish.
kind
Yeah.
of community spaces, but more like, your the entire colony is celebrating a festival together, and there are cultural programs happening every
Mm.
day, and there
Mm.
is music and dance and kit and food, and there's everyone's dressing up, everyone's trying to take pictures, everyone is just trying to be present in all of those moments. But it's important. It's so important, and it's so hard to see that. It's difficult to see that the next generation probably won't get even an ounce of
Yeah.
what we were able to experience. Like school has also become, from what I hear from friends and their kids in schools, everything is so monitored, and there is no nicknaming, there is no picking on people,
Mm.
there is no name calling, there is we learned
Yeah.
everything. I think I learned everything I know because of those unfiltered spaces I was in. It's a little
Yeah.
worrying, but I'm sure they will find their way. I mean, every generation finds their way. We found our way with the mobile phones and everything. So
Yeah. That. But yeah, it's what you're saying is correct. There is so much sanitization that happens right now in external spaces, in schools, colleges, and things like that. It like for us, it was like, hey, we had to go through or deal with bullies or deal with people who
mm,
didn't like, but
yeah,
you had to deal with it because they are part of your community, whatever spaces that you used to share. And that's how you learned your resilience and your interpersonal skills and things like that. Right now, everything is
Yeah.
sanitized, right? There is no way
And
that you.
the funny thing is that when I started working and I would meet my school friends because some of us were in the same city. That's
Mm.
when we started getting all this corporate training about racism and all of that. And then we realized we were so racist
It's
in
so
school.
racist. So
We
racist.
used to call each other names that
Yeah.
right now you can't even say out loud. And everyone was like so shocked. We're like, oh my God, we were racist. That's what we were doing. We had no idea. No idea.
A lot of our family
But
conversations are also now very racist. Right? Like if you bring back those conversations, like, oh my God, you can't say those things now.
yeah, you can't say those things anymore. And you're like, but that's our entire childhood. How do you take that away? And they didn't even feel bad because they were nicknames.
Yeah.
They were
Everybody had
nicknames.
a nickname. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to tell you mine, but we all had a nickname.
Yeah, we all had a nickname. Oh my God. What's a recent bad piece of advice that you got? Like really bad piece of advice.
Really bad piece of advice. Oh, it's work related, but it's so good.
Bring it on.
That you won't go anywhere unless you have the bookish knowledge.
So you mean like a degree, like a, or you mean
Yeah.
like,
So
oh,
unless you have read the books and you have read the models and you have read the papers and you have read the case studies and you have the, the author and you know all of these
uh-huh.
things, you can't
Mm.
get further if you don't do all of those things. I can do an entire 1 hour TED
Well,
to
let's
that.
do that. Yeah, let's do that as a follow. But in short, what's your response to that?
My response would be in French, but I just want to say that it's just oh no, it's not true. It's not true. We have so many success stories of so many people who have done so well who are college dropout,
Mm.
who have no educational background whatsoever, and they have been able to really work hard and make change, make progress with practicality, with logic, and by learning on the go, learning from people around you. There are millions of people in this world who have done all of that. So
Yeah.
to base the fact that your success is dependent on your bookish knowledge is, come on, then you're just wrong person, wrong place.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Yeah.
True. And if people have read the book doesn't make them successful, or then everybody would become a success, right? Like all you have to do is just go read this book and then use that knowledge, and then you will be a success, right?
If
That's
that was the case, Bengal would have been full of billionaires. The amount of intellectualization that
the
the
amount. Yeah.
people do
Yeah.
is insane.
I
That's
think if you just
intellect.
record some of those chai pe charcha conversations in Bengal,
Oh,
I
top
think
class.
each one of them would be a tech talk in itself. Obviously, we'll have to filter
Top
out
class.
a lot of French, but uh, it. Yeah, I completely
But if
agree.
you have never experienced them, and I don't know if the experience is the same the way it would be like 10, 15 years ago, but I have experienced the adda,
Uh,
actual 2
yeah.
a.m. adda with the earthen chai. What do you call it in English? I don't know. The earthen cup or
Uh-huh.
and the crowd is so mixed. There will always be a politician. There will be somebody who's doing a PhD. There will be a journalist. There will be a corporate employee. There'll be somebody who's running a kirana shop or a
Right.
grocery store. The crowd will be absolutely mixed, and they'll be talking about politics and philosophy and the world and what's wrong with it and what other people should be doing about it, not them.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. That experience is something else altogether. It is too good. Like I cherish all of the adda sessions that I've been a part of. I've not been a part of too many because I wasn't living in Calcutta,
Hmm.
but as many as I've been part of, they're just they're s- so good. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for your time. I know initially we said we'll do like about 25 to 30 minutes. I think we are now close to about 50 minutes, but this was genuinely engaging conversation. I loved every bit of personal frameworks and methods that you shared. I think this is exactly why I wanted to speak to you when I thought that, hey, I should have a guest on the podcast. And you are my first guest, and I can't thank you enough for sharing your personal stories. I would like to bring you back. I plan to do this at least once a month in terms of getting guests on my podcast. So I would like to bring you back at some point of time and have another set of conversations on things that are happening. Thank you so much. This is simply amazing to have a different perspective on the same things that people usually are dealing with.
Thank you so much for this. I never thought of a lot of these things as processes, but as I was answering questions, it was a realization that I actually have a process. So it was nice for me to understand that there's actually a structure to this. But and thank you for bringing that up. Very happy to be here. Happy to chat with you. It's been really great talking to you today. I loved every bit of it, and I hope this podcast reaches the millions that it is supposed to.
A huge thank you again to Tanya for that beautiful conversation. What a powerful reminder that scripts we live by can, in fact, be rewritten, and that sometimes the most profound change starts with the smallest, quietest choice. If you enjoyed this conversation, the best way to support is to share it with a friend who might need to hear it today. Until our next episode, this is Anish, still becoming, right alongside you.